President.
Senator from Iowa.
For over a year, I ask that the calling of the quorum be suspended.
Without objection.
For over a year, Senator Johnson and I investigated the Biden's financial family dealings. For over a year, the liberal media and my colleagues on the other side of the aisle falsely said that we were peddling Russian disinformation. They ginned up any story they could to do and falsely portray our investigation in an effort to delegitimize the report's findings. Even my colleague, Senator Wyden, whom I've worked with on many bipartisan investigations, said the following, quote, "This disinformation also became the basis of the Johnson-Grassley investigation. The political nature of this investigation has been clear all along. Bottom line, the Johnson-Grassley investigation is baseless. It is laundering Russian propaganda for circulation in the United States," end quote. It seems the liberal media and Democrats have a very nervous tick. Anytime a Republican gets close to the truth and is about to serve justice, the other side yells, "Russian disinformation." And of course, as we see now, that's a load of garbage. As I've said on this floor several times before, our report was rooted in information from U.S. government agencies and a left-aligned U.S. lobby shop that represented a corrupt Ukrainian gas company. And by now, the American people know that it's really the Democrats and liberal media that are connected to Russian disinformation. Just think of the Steele dossier. It was infected with Russian disinformation and paid for by the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton's campaign. The liberal media and those on the other side of the aisle were scared of the facts. They were scared that the American people would see the Biden family's deep and extensive link to foreign governments, including the communist Chinese government. And once Senator Johnson and I released publicly our findings, those same liberal outlets said the report repackaged old material and that there wasn't really anything new to it. They went into full Joe Biden protection mode, and they didn't even try to hide it. One Washington Post columnist said, quote, "Even after accepting disinformation from Russian agents, Johnson and Grassley couldn't come up with anything new or interesting on Hunter Biden." Well, we know today the Post should be ashamed that they said that. Politico ran a story with this headline, quote, "GOP's senators anti-Biden report repackages old claims." And National Public Radio said about the New York Post Hunter Biden story, quote, "We don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories, and we don't want to waste the listeners' and readers' times on stories that are just pure distractions," end of NPR quote. Now look at what Twitter and Facebook did to Hunter Biden news. Simply said, they interfered in the election and gave the Biden campaign a multi-million-dollar in-kind donation courtesy of their blatant and unforgivable censorship. So, my fellow Americans, let us never forget what Twitter and Facebook did during the 2020 elections. Now let's fast forward to this very day. Now it's confirmed that Hunter Biden is under criminal investigation, reportedly for his taxes and financial dealings. The very fact pattern that we described in the Johnson-Grassley report. It shouldn't take Hunter Biden to confirm that he's under criminal investigation before the mainstream press gets permission from who, I don't know, to report the news. It's a complete outrage at the way the liberal media used its power to cover up facts relating to Hunter Biden and the Biden family, and yet ran stories after stories with false information about the Russian investigation into Trump and the credibility of the Steele dossier. The recent news also shows that a report was not baseless. That's a word that shows up all the time. And it didn't repackage old claims. That's another set of words that shows up quite regularly as people were trying to distract the Johnson and Grassley report. So quite the opposite.